Hey guys, gonna give you guys my review of WWE Evolution 2025. 7 years later, we finally got a second Evolution pay-per-view. PLE now. Yeah, I remember the first one in 2018. This honestly was a freaking awesome show. So I had so much fun, top to bottom. Way better than the first Evolution, in my opinion. That show did have the last woman standing match between Charlotte and Becky Lynch, yes. And it did have Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey. But like the rest of that show, if I recall correctly, was pretty much just tag matches. Oh, there was a NXT Women's Championship match though, Shayna versus Kairi Sane. Um, but I'm very excited to talk about the show. Very shocking ending to the show, I'll say that. But yeah, I very thoroughly enjoyed it. Had a blast. But yeah. Opening match, we have the Women's Intercontinental Championship Triple Threat. Bayley and what's her name? Lara Valkyria challenging Becky Hogan for the Intercontinental Championship. This match was awesome. Loved it. Super exciting throughout. Very like neck and neck with the main event for matches tonight, in my opinion. Beautiful counters, hard hitting stuff. What the Intercontinental Championship, including the men's, the type of match this was always made for. Triple threat. Quite a few finisher exchanges, people like breaking up pins, Bayley hit, I forgot what it was called, the Rose Plant. I think she hit that on Lyra, and then Becky kind of did a rolling backslide thing to Bayley for the 1-2-3. So Becky Hogan retains the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Next, we have the NXT Women's Championship match. What was it again? JC Jane defending against Jordan Grace, who was accompanied by Blake Monroe. Another solid match, honestly. I enjoyed this a lot. It did have an ending everyone saw coming, though. Speaking of Evolution. Where Blake Monroe screws over Jordan Grace, JC Jane retains. Yeah. So that was good stuff. Match number 3. What was match number 3? I think this was the 4-way women's tag team championship match. This was solid too. I figured that Charlotte and Alexa would win this. They did not. In fact, there was actually a cool spot where I think it was Zarya who actually kind of gave Charlotte a ass kicking of a bit. That was pretty badass. But ultimately it was, I think, Zarya, or at least the other person from the team who I can't remember, who got pinned by Raquel Rodriguez to retain the championships for her and Roxanne Perez. Although I'm confused on how those tag team champions change hands, because Liv Morgan was champion. She got injured. Yeah. What was that? What's match number 4? Yeah, I think this was the women's championship match. Trish Stratus challenging Tiffany Stratton. Another really good, solid match here too. We had good back and forth stuff. The GOAT, John Cena. WrestleMania, yeah. But yeah, what was the match again? Yeah, Tiffany versus Trish. This is a match we all thought might happen at Elimination Chamber. It happened here. It was good stuff. They had good chemistry, I thought. What a freaking resume for Tiffany Stratton, though. She has, she has won Money in the Bank, cashed in on Nia Jax, beaten Nia Jax, last woman standing, defeated Charlotte Flair, and now has defeated Trish Stratus, all in the same reign. Yeah, and yeah. Then we have Naomi versus Jade Cargill, no holds barred match, and Bianca Belair was the special guest referee. This was a really fun no holds barred match. Had table spots, trash cans, I think, chairs. It was super entertaining. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought that Jade, no, I thought Naomi would win this. That was before how the show ended, of course. I thought Naomi would win this. She did not, although she got a glam slam from the top rope through a table. That was a cool ending. Bianca Belair as the referee, yeah, made no impact on this match, really. In fact, no, not really. She made no impact on this match. Maybe it was just to give the crowd, because they were excited to see Bianca. Maybe just to let them see Bianca. I don't know, but that was a lot of fun. Then we go into the Battle Royal, where the winner gets a championship opportunity at Clash in Paris. This was just a normal Battle Royal. I hate swerves for the sake of swerving in wrestling. There's this kind of famous tweet that's been going on the past few days that has since been deleted for some reason, because I wanted to mention this, and that feels freaking deliberate by the universe doing that to me, you know what I mean? I was like, trope so ass, you roll your eyes every time it happens. And for me, no, it's not like in movies or anything, but in freaking wrestling, where they swerve fans for the sake of swerving fans. Example, Sheamus winning the 2012 Royal Rumble instead of Chris Jericho swerving for the sake of swerving, straight up. That's what that was. And speaking of Chris Jericho, it was I found it extremely annoying, even at the time, that he won the United States Championship from Kevin Owens at Payback 2017, just to lose it back to him 2 days later. That was more swerving for the sake of swerving. And I find that shit annoying, just, if I'm being honest. And here, Nikki Bella, the most promoted star on this Battle Royal, she gets eliminated like fourth to last. Far out. Hey, that's the guy from Just Another Christmas. Almost family. Anyway, then the final two was down to Lash Legend and Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer, she did the Devil's Kiss in the ring, and then she actually did it again to Lash Legend, on the apron to eliminate her. So Stephanie Vaquer gets a championship match at Clash in Paris. There's another match I'm hoping for Clash in Paris, and I hope it happens. I don't want to say it just yet, but perhaps I said too much already. But yeah. So yeah, Stephanie McMahon, and you know those memes of Stephanie McMahon where it says white women when they say gracias at a Mexican restaurant or something like that. Yeah, she freaking lived up to that meme. She spoke to Stephanie Vaquer in Spanish. That was pretty funny. Everyone was posting about that meme, on X, Then we go into the main event. Neck and neck with the opener as match of the night, in my opinion. This was awesome. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley, Women's World Championship. Awesome, hard-hitting stuff. Loved it. They what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? They accidentally knocked out the ref. Io accidentally drop kicked the ref. She's out cold. Then they fight around, where the fans are. Io does an awesome ass dive off of a freaking thing of boxes. That was awesome. They fight in some stairs area. They eventually get back to the ring. And then they fight some more. Io does over the moonsault to Rhea Ripley. 1, 2, Rhea kicks out. And that's when I was like, oh, they're going to have freaking Rhea Hogan win, aren't they? And then they fought some more, still some counters. And then Naomi's music hits. Naomi, Miss Money in the Bank, cashes in Money in the Bank. It's a triple threat match. She hits Io with the briefcase. She tosses Rhea out of the ring. Does the freaking Starship Pain to Io Sky. 1, 2, 3. And Naomi wins the Women's World Championship. That was a shocking ending I was not expecting. Yeah, she had everyone believing she was going after the Women's Championship. She said, I'm going to strike when you never see it coming. And then she wasn't really, she was secretly talking to Io, I guess, the whole time. It was a shocking ending. I still wish Io had retained. But at least we got a shocking swerve of ending. And I know it wasn't swerve for the sake. I wouldn't call this a swerve for the sake of swerving. But yeah. That's going to be my review of Evolution 2. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Have a good one.